Well, hello and welcome to Anxious at Bedtime. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Cash.
And I'm the other. I'm Monica.
And yeah, excuse us if there's some weird audio glitches, some weird stuff going on in this episode. I'm messing with some of the technical stuff on my end and some of the microphones. So, my bad if it's all, shitty.
Is there anything new that you want to talk about before we get started?
Some of the new stuff that I got. Yeah, they're talking about a thunder moon. If
Yeah.
people don't know what that is, apparently we're going to be getting a thunder moon, which means starting July 10th, which means you're going to hear a lot of unexplained noises and booms and claps in the sky that they don't know where it's coming from, why it exists, and they can't predict when. And to coincide with this, there's going to be two giant ass meteor showers in the month of July too. That they don't really know when or where, but they somehow predicted.
That's weird.
That's wild, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we just went through a cycle where apparently days are getting shorter or had just gotten shorter one day by 1.5 millisecond and one day by 1.2 millisecond, which some point could change the tidal direction of like the Indian Ocean or some shit like that, which is pretty fucking wild.
Yeah. A lot of weird stuff going on. Um, tinfoil hat chat real fast. Do you think that this meteor shower and thunder booms and all of that is like, first of all related to one thing, but second of all, like, I know it sounds crazy, but like some sort of extraterrestrial type thing, and they got a heads up, like, hey, we're gonna be doing this shit, and that's why they're like, we don't know when or where it's gonna happen, but we know it's coming.
Like they're trying to sound the alarm, kind of give us a little bit of a warning, but not the truth
Yeah,
of
not
why
the
we're going to be
truth.
hearing some unexplained noises.
Yeah.
Like they didn't explain why we can see all these fucking lights going off, and some people already hear all these booms. Like people have been talking about in what was it, Idaho, rural Idaho for months. They've been hearing them.
Mm-hmm.
Then they were talking about it, and I think it was Minnesota. They've been hearing the booms. Like
Yeah.
I think Washington was another place where they've been hearing it for almost a year. So like there could be a galactic war going on in our sky, and they're saying, oh, the other part about this, the thunder booms, the thunder moon, is they're saying that there could be random shit falling from the sky, random debris that they don't know what it is. It's just space debris.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So they've also confirmed that a lot of like the UAPs that they've seen in the sky are, yeah, those are ours. Like we reverse engineered them. Like we're not gonna tell you exactly which ones, and they just keep pointing it at them and going, no, not that, not that, not that. Which okay,
You know what, though? Allegedly, there's an intergalactic war going on, like, right now. What if it's that? What
that's
if,
what I'm saying. What if our shit's up there and we're getting fucked up there, and they're like, look, dude, there's just booms. We're getting clapped at.
yeah,
They're just clapping
like
us.
it just started or something, and so that's what all of it is,
At least fucking let us know.
right? But you can't let the people know. You have to keep the peace, keep people calm,
I'd be calmer if I knew.
right? Instead of just like, weird shit's happening.
We could unite and fucking be like, what's up, aliens?
Or at least stream it.
We got peace. Can we all be friends? Let's
Friends.
start there.
We do have Kevin in the house again today, so
He's in the
if
house
you,
all day, every day. He's
well,
an
I mean,
indoor
in the
cat.
recording room.
Yeah, he's in the room.
And literally on my lap, which is new. So if you hear meowing and purring, it's me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the other new thing that I really want. What? Anyways, the other new thing that I really wanted to bring up that we didn't cover since the last time we did this podcast, because it just started happening since then, was these damn floods, these crazy ass floods. Like, I mean, the terrible one that happened in Texas, that
Yeah.
all those children, like, that's terrible. It's a tragedy. Then it happened just a couple days later in New Mexico. Like, a lot of people are saying it's very biblical too.
Yeah, it's very scary. And our hearts go out to everybody affected by them for sure.
Absolutely. Everybody's in our thoughts and our prayers, all the
Mm-hmm.
family members, everybody out there going to help and try to, take care of these families and try to help the situation. Just, it's terrible.
It is. It's scary times for sure.
Is it the rapture, though?
I don't know.
Huh.
Again, something we've lightly discussed in the past is a lot of things have, what's the word?
Residual.
No. Like foretold that this year is going to be the end of the
Prophesized.
prophesized that this year is going to be the end of the world,
Yeah,
or
like,
at least the end of like our current timeline.
like that book about the young Von Trump kid that time travels,
Mm-hmm.
and then that same author wrote a book that talked about the last president.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it's the same author that wrote the same books, and it's about a Trump. Like that's crazy. And it said it was like the 47th president or something was the last president. Yeah. So I mean, there's some funky shit going on for sure. Tinfoil hat.
Yeah, like I don't know if we started with that, but this is a little tinfoil hat moment.
Most of what
Please,
I say is
yeah, please don't take anything we say, especially in the beginning of these episodes, too serious. We are just talking,
it's
and
all for educational purposes.
yeah,
It's allegedly
you know that meme of
things.
Charlie Day when he has like the strings all over the wall and he's like connecting things?
Pepe
That's us.
Sylvia.
Yeah, Pepe Sylvia, that's us at the beginning of these
Carol.
episodes.
Carol.
There is no Carol in accounting.
Yeah. All of this is honestly for just, hypothetical educational purposes only.
Yeah.
It's not even for real education.
And honestly, we don't even know what we think or believe. We just think there's weird stuff going on and, like, hey, this is odd. Do you think it could be connected to that?
90% of the time, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
And with that, welcome to Anxious at Bedtime.
Welcome. So if you guys are new here, typically how this goes is I'm not this talkative. I'm pretty quiet. I'm a skeptic and a conspiracist that disagrees with a lot of the things that Monica says, but she tells the stories. She does most of the work. So we're going to ask her, Monica, what do you have planned for me today?
Well, we're going to be discussing a beloved 90's toy.
Oh man, I was alive in the 90s and
Yeah.
I had no toys.
But first, I know it's been a minute since we've discussed like paranormal things that have happened in our personal lives, but there's one thing that has been just really prevalent the past few days that's been driving me insane because it's so weird. And I want to know if anybody else experiences this, okay?
What's that now?
So I've been reading a lot, and as I'm reading, Cash will be watching a TikTok, and the TikTok will either say something, like, for example, his TikTok said something about an anchor. And then, like, 30 seconds later, the word anchor was in my book. And this book had nothing to do with, like, ships, anchors, nothing like that. And the first time it popped up, 30 seconds after he watched it. And then, the really weird one, last night, I was reading this little bit about, like, somebody broke glass in the middle of the night. Somebody broke a window. And it was discussing, I woke up to the sound of glass shattering. And then Cash was watching a TikTok where somebody was shattering glass. So I was
They were
reading it
busting
with
out the
this,
windows of this house.
yeah, with the sound effects. It was so weird.
It just sank up.
Yeah. And
But
that's been happening a lot.
yeah, let's be honest. Some of the time, it's not just me on TikTok. It's some of the TV shows.
Yeah, it's
Some
TV
of the TV
shows.
shows, it lines up. It synchronizes with the words you're reading too. I don't know how all that shit. I'm telling you, manifestation may be real. You may be able to, lock in and determine your destiny, change your future, and change your outlook. If you want life to go better, make it. Let's go.
Yeah, but it's been a really weird few days. And then this one hasn't happened as much, but it's happened a few times where, like, we'll pause TV and we'll do something, and then one of us will, like, say something, and then we hit play, and the person on the TV says the thing that that person just said.
And for some reason, and this one's just more, conspiracy. Somebody's always watching me. Sometimes I get up and I say, don't pause it, I'm good. And I walk to the other room and the fucker pauses. Other times I get up, I don't say anything about pausing, and I don't say, no, I just walk out of the room and it fucking pauses.
Yeah.
Never does that to her.
And what he means by pauses is, like, we'll be streaming a TV show and it'll pause, like, buffer pause, not intentional pause.
Yeah, no, yeah, it'll buffer. It'll buffer the whole way through, like, until I get back and sit down. Like, it'll wait for me to get back.
Yeah, it's been like a charged few days. I don't know what's going on.
But moving on, what are we really talking about?
Okay. Let's take a trip back to 1998.
Oh, yeah, that was a good year.
Yeah. The president...
I'm not talking about president politics, none of that shit.
The president... Yeah, that's fair. Preface that. It being a good year has nothing to do with this next... Anyway. The President Clinton scandal was all over the headlines. Google was founded. Y2K panic was simmering. And the movie Titanic was all the rage. Then that
I
fall,
didn't see that fucking movie till like this year.
it was not this year. It was like 2 years ago, but
No, it was last year then.
was it?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know, but yeah, I made you watch it.
Yeah, we were in Montana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I didn't watch that shit till last year, bro.
It's a good
And I
movie.
don't think I finished it.
I
I
don't
think
think
I
you
fell asleep
did.
through most of it.
Yeah, but it's a good movie. Then that fall, Tiger Electronics released a new toy. This toy, invented by David Hampton and Caleb Chung, was a toy unlike any other. It was similar to the Tamagotchi, as it was inspired by it, but it was even more sentient. This toy was 3D and furry with big, blinking eyes.
And evil.
And evil, allegedly. Today, we're talking about the Furby.
Fucking knew it.
Did you ever have a Furby?
No, hell no. I couldn't afford one of those.
I love
Also,
you.
I didn't want one of those. Those things are... Hell no.
Neighbor went by on a motorcycle. That was disrespectful. Just kidding, but it was very loud. But I never had a Furby like as a toy for myself, but my Nana has, I don't know if you ever noticed in her house, you know where there's like the living room and then that panel?
Yeah.
Above it is lined with Furbies. Like that whole wall is lined with little Furbies.
Maybe that's why I don't go to that side of the house.
The living room?
That side of the living room?
Yeah, that side of the, oh, that's fair. That's fair. Nobody ever really goes over to that side, like
Yeah,
up
fuck
against
that
that
side.
island. I wonder if
You
that's
guys try to
through
make me sit there for like family dinners, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't like this. And I get up and walk over to my side.
That's true. That's weird.
And hell no.
But yeah, so my Nana always had a bunch of Furbies, but we never had them as toys. They were like knickknacks. So
Yeah.
so I don't really have Furby
They were
experiences.
decoration.
Decoration, yeah.
Decorative.
Tchotchkes.
Cha-cha slide.
Did you know anybody that had a Furby? And
Oh, my auntie. She had Furbies and stuff. And yeah, we didn't go over there.
oh, did she experience anything weird? Do you
I
know?
don't know. She had Furbies. Fuck that. We ain't going over there. We ain't talking. Weird. It's like these Lulubus. What are these?
I know the Labubu.
It's like these Labubus.
Yeah,
Hell no. I don't trust these things either.
I kind of want to get one.
No, Labubus and Furbies. No, these things are not for me.
See, but that's what's interesting is I did grow up being like Furbies are scary. Like that was my thought was Furbies no.
Yeah, now imagine that son of a bitch with more technology, especially with
yeah.
like spying technology and data. Like,
That's fair, but I still kind of want one. They are weird and like, you know.
Yeah, what
Freaky
about those
looking.
ugly monsters that they used to sell at Walmart for like $8? They were the same damn thing.
Which ones?
I don't know. I pointed them out where they were like stuffed animals. They had like ears, and I'm like, look at this thing. And you push its face forward, and it was all ugly.
I don't remember those.
Either way, dude, that is a wild craze. I don't get into this either.
So you're anti-Furby and anti-Labubu?
I'm not saying anti. I'm just not. It's not for me.
Okay.
Not for me, player.
I kind of want one for the pod room, but we'll see.
No, you don't.
We'll talk.
We will.
So Furbies were essentially little robots. When you first bought one, it would speak only in a special language known as Furbish. The inventors have said that they made up Furbish by mashing up multiple languages that they spoke. But some people theorize that it's a real language that Furbies use to communicate with each other.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
People talk about all the time where their Furbies would go back to talking that random ass language to each other
Yeah.
when they're not in the room.
There's
and
a
they'd
lot of
overhear it and
weird-
go near them, and they'd stop.
Mm-hmm.
They'd revert back to that language when there's not humans around. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird. But yeah, Furbies did communicate with each other. And if you put two Furbies next to each other, they had at least, I don't know for sure if they still do, but they had built-in infrared sensors that would allow them to acknowledge like, hey, that's another Furby right there. And then they would talk. They were supposed to talk Furbish to each other, but it's weird that they would, in their programming, still hold like, when it's this thing, I can recognize this is another me. I use my old language. But when it's a human, I use English.
Yeah, for that technology back then, man.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
Very weird.
That was not just a toy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think.
Fucking spyware.
Maybe. But the whole shtick with Furbies was the more you interact with the Furby and talk with it and like make friends with it, the more it's supposed to learn English and learn from you. Supposedly, it was programmed to have a timed transition. So, like, after 72 hours or whatever, it would start learning, like, quote unquote, learning English. But there have been a lot of reports of people saying, like you said, it reverted back, or it would, in some scenarios, speak Furbish and then speak English, and then some people's Furbies would start speaking English faster, and I don't know. It's very weird.
The AI wasn't ready to be discovered yet.
Something.
It was like, bro, leave me out of this. I don't want to be a part of this toy.
Yeah. The creators have said that it was not an adaptive AI, but it was a timer, basically. But a lot of people believe that these owl-like creatures were listening to everything going on around them and learning from it. And that's how they were learning English.
Did they learn any other languages, or like when they got to a different country, like China,
None that I
people
saw.
would go to speak to it and want to understand, so learn a whole new language? Like, did it? That'd be crazy. We should
Yeah,
find those stories.
we should. Furbies also had light sensors so that they could distinguish between light and day. Allegedly, they did not have cameras.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So obviously they had sound sensors that allowed them to respond to voices, because if you talk to it, it would talk back to you. And they also had motors that caused them to blink, dance, and wiggle their ears.
Those things were not toys. That's all I'm saying. Those things are weird.
But you can't deny, especially the original generation, they were adorable.
No, the hell they were not.
I think they were. They're so cute and little fuzzies.
No, I swear, when I was a kid, like, what was that movie?
Gremlins.
Gremlins, yes, absolutely. When those things came out, I thought they were real life fucking gremlins.
Yeah.
So I was like, why do people want these?
See, I
And
kind
then I
of
was
think
like,
that was part of the fear.
yeah, see, I was like, I would rather a gremlin though. Those gremlins actually, those things are kind of cute. These little bird things,
Gremlins
these
are
things are
adorable.
weird. I didn't get it. I mean, I was just a child. I was like, weird.
Yeah.
But those things made no sense. No fucking sense at all.
Either way, in 1998, there was this technology boom. And so when this little playful robot hit the scene, people went nuts. By the holiday season, Furbies were the sought after gift. As we've seen over and over with each year, that year's it gift, like, stores can't keep it on the shelves. They were so popular, people.
Danced on top of other people's cars, kicked in their moonroof so they can get the toys.
Kinda, yeah. Like, people went nuts. The stuff that you see
Yeah.
on TikTok and stuff now of people going nuts over each year's present, it was
Yeah,
the
when you
same thing
watch
back
like
then.
1990s Black Friday shopping, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of that was over the Furby craze and the fucking those 32-inch TVs that
Yeah.
my god,
But yeah, so people
embarrassing.
would, like, if they could get their hands on them, they would flip them and sell, like, some of them sold for as much as $300 when they were originally priced at $35. But yeah, so Furbies were the hot gift. People were fighting over them. There were freaking Karens going after Karens. It was nuts. But then something weird happened.
People got to use them.
Kind of. On January 13th, 1999, so only a little bit into Furbies being around, an internal memo was leaked that banned Furbies. That memo was for employees at the NSA, or America's National Security Agency.
Weird places that don't like to be spied on, that spy on people,
Mm-hmm.
said, "Hey, that's not just a toy."
Yeah, when I heard that, that's when I was like, I know what this episode's gonna be. We need to talk about Furbies, because that is fucking weird.
Oh, I've always believed that, but nowadays everything fucking listens to us. So
I
I
know.
mean,
But the memo basically said no Furbies were allowed on the premises, and if anyone saw a Furby, they were required to call security immediately. There's this great podcast I listened to about it. It's called Did Furby Spy on Us with Joanne McNally. In episode 6, she talks about how she found someone on Twitter that posted in January of last year saying that they had filed a Freedom of Information request, and that person was actually able to get their hands on the 19-page memo.
why is it gotta be 19 pages if they didn't have anything?
Right? Of course, there was a ton of redacted information. Names were removed. I don't know what all was removed, but a ton of stuff was blacked out.
Probably a lot of truths.
Mm-hmm. But most of the conversations were still there. And it's basically all of the employees discussing whether Furbies were a threat or not, like amongst themselves. So that's pretty cool. But the most interesting tidbit is the employees saying that they think Furbies were banned because somebody put one in the Toys for Tots donation box that was outside the NSA building. So not even in the building. Somebody put one in a donation box and they were like, somebody's trying to spy on us.
I don't believe that because then any other toy that ever went into any of those fucking boxes in the existence of that division,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been a thing. Nope, can't have Yahtzee here. Ah, you better get those fucking Polly Pockets away. Like,
That's fair. I
no.
didn't think about that.
And they'll try and say, oh, because the electronics in it. Yeah, but they can't prove what electronics are in packaging of anything else either. So come on.
Yeah. That's weird. But it did specify that the Furby was like in its box unopened.
Ain't even no batteries in there. So
Yeah.
if we're playing fair, every other toy is a threat too. So there would be a notice that they're not allowed to have any type of toy. So go ahead.
That's fair.
Uh,
But yeah, so something happened between that fall to that January where they were like, ooh, Furbies are a threat. And I want to know exactly what it was. So bad.
it probably repeated back something that somebody said. So they were like, hey, if this is in a private office, it can keep memory and repeat that back.
Probably.
That's the way they were used for spying.
Maybe.
Potential spying, allegedly. Who knows?
But remember how Furbies learn to talk from their owner?
I do.
They also, like we said, have conversations with their owners, which means in some capacity, you'd think they'd have to be able to listen to somebody talking to them. Not just like sensors that are like, hey, echolocation or something.
Yeah, they'd have to listen and understand what was being said and be able to process and sort, even if it's programmed responses, sort a response that would dictate that fits.
Exactly. Okay. Because of that, the NSA thought that, like you said, if they were in a room with sensitive conversation being had, they could record that conversation and ultimately record government secrets.
Ta-da.
Yeah. It sounds a little wild, but keep in mind this was right around Y2K, so people are already on high alert and scared and freaked out.
Yeah.
Also, the
But they
internet
were Furbies, so for very good reason.
the internet was also still fairly new. All the technology like that was in its infancy. And I think that's part of the Furby's popularity boom is it was new and unheard of and exciting, and so people wanted to have it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was new technology, new fun thing that nobody else can get. Like, I got to be the first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially the way they market it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they market it as it's the hottest thing, it's the best thing, like, it's going to be the thing that everybody needs to get.
That's fair. And of course, people fear what they don't understand, and they didn't understand the new technology. But for the NSA to ban it,
Yeah.
that's wild.
The NSA, I mean, if it was out of fear of the technology built into the Furby, they would have taken that Furby outside of the office and opened it up and discovered
Right?
the technology. Because it's not like they were just a, random fucking classroom that had it. And they're like, whoa, this is scary. We don't have any means to look at it. We don't have any intelligent minds. We don't work with
Exactly.
government agencies that could come and open this and tell us what's inside of it. No, they probably did that shit and said, yeah, get those the fuck out of here. Keep them away. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they really did just look at it and say, hey, we don't know, keep them away, like they're out of pocket, like that person's making wild rules, that's pretty hardcore.
But another thing that I think is interesting is in that 19-page memo, like I said, it was the employees like theorizing with each other what could have caused the ban. So it sounds like even the employees weren't sure. So
Yeah,
could it
so
have been more? You know?
exactly what was released was just the employee files, like the employees talking about it
That's kind
after
of
it was a thing.
yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like. Like the email that had everybody CC'd where they're like, "Don't do this," and everyone was like, "Why?"
So there's never, I don't want to say never, but it's typically not just one guy sitting there and goes, fuck that, that's never allowed in my building, and then just goes and tells everyone, and it's a chain email that goes to everybody in a giant ass office like that just because he didn't like the toy and it was a threatening thing outside the office.
Yeah.
People would have been like, what? Okay, dude, it's a toy. They would have looked into it. It wouldn't have been. No.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's something weird.
Not to ill speak on them at all. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just talking about them Furbies. Them Furbies are fucking something else.
Furbies were also softly banned from flights.
Yup.
Yeah. Did you know that? I didn't.
No, I didn't, but my Samsung Galaxy Note 7 was as well.
Yeah.
So I feel the pain.
Yeah. But they weren't allowed to be used during takeoff or landings, and some people said that they weren't even allowed in the cabin at all, and that they had to check it with their luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's just because everybody's annoyed with it on the plane. That
No.
could be, though, because, I mean, there was enough people annoyed by them, I'm sure,
I don't think so. To ban them?
to say, yeah, we don't want this noisy ass fucking toy. That's, yeah,
Yeah, I don't think a noise complaint would be enough to ban them.
would on my airplane.
The FAA said that they were worried the toys would interfere with the computer systems that they used on the aircrafts. So, like how I don't think it's the same way anymore, but you were supposed to not use your cell phone in hospitals because it would interfere with all the stuff.
Like right now, you got to turn your phone into airplane mode when
Yeah.
you get on a plane so you can have a Furby
Yeah.
because you can't put it on airplane mode because it's always listening.
Yeah. That's why they
It's
said
always
that
got
they.
a cellular.
That's why they said it was banned.
Yeah, that cellular. It's
Hmm.
responded to something.
Yeah. Right. Because there's more
Weird.
to it. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But it gets even deeper than that. Furbies are allegedly all timed stuff, right? Like we talked about, it's however many hours and then it starts speaking English, whatever. They aren't sentient. They don't think. They don't process information. Everything is supposed to be on a timer. But then they each develop their own personalities based on how you raise them. And I didn't know this.
So if they're on a timer, there's only a X amount of possible outcomes.
Maybe, I guess, but people, like I fell down a rabbit hole on Reddit. People have said that they have multiple. And in that podcast that I mentioned earlier, she visited somebody that had like hundreds of Furbies, and she said each one has its own personality. But supposedly, like, I don't know, like with pets, like it's just a pet, but you can like it's a different personality. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's so weird and doesn't make sense to me. But Furby owners have said if they interacted often with their toy, it would be happy. If they neglected it for long durations or were mean to it, it would get grumpy.
So these are the same people that made the Tamagotchi?
No,
Oh, okay.
I said it was inspired by the Tamagotchi.
Oh, I was thinking they made the Tamagotchi too.
Mm-mm. No, the main guy, I think it was David Hampton. He was at some like Comic-Con type thing, I think. And he saw Tamagotchi before it was like popular in the US, and he was like, "That's cool, but like I want more of a pet. Like a Tamagotchi is like a computer."
Yeah.
And so that's how he came up with it. But how was that possible? How can a Furby distinguish, "Hey, that was mean. I'm going to be mean back."
Because he got the technology from the Tamagotchi. Because that's how Tamagotchis were. They were programmed into a little machine. That's how they would react.
Yeah.
However much engaged with it is how it engaged with you. Like if you neglected to feed it, it would die,
Yeah.
and you'd have to raise a new one. Or like if you fed it a little bit and then you played with it a little bit, it'd get angry with you. Like you raised this thing, right? So
Mhm.
they built that same technology into the Furby.
See, but
So
Furby took it further.
that's what I'm saying. If you let me finish. So they took a little bit of that technology. They got some of that information. Again, this is where they discovered AI the first, maybe not the first time, but they discovered AI. They had a different patent for the AI of how they were utilizing it too, and that's why there was an issue. A cellular signal doesn't allow it on airplanes. Government buildings didn't want it near any government buildings because it's a weird toy. It learns. It's sentient, but not. Yeah, it's a form of AI.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then just another thing that's weird is it's supposed to only respond if it hears you talking, right? Like if you're having a conversation with it, it'll respond to you.
Yeah.
But then there's also tons of stories of people saying they heard it talking in the middle of the night. They were woken up to it talking.
Maybe
Or they,
those people were sleep talking though. I do
maybe.
that.
That's fair, maybe, I guess.
Their grunts sound like voice, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know that much about Furbies again. I don't trust them. So, do they learn only really the voice of one person or multiples? Do you know?
I don't know.
So, they could potentially learn the voices of family members. So, if there's family members in the distance and their voices, or TV or the radio, and they hear that person's voice constantly when you're not around. Because back in the 90's, I know for a fact we used to listen to music and have the radio and TV on a lot more as background noise.
That's fair.
Wasn't so energy conscious back then.
So maybe that's it. Or here's the neighbors or something. But then there's the most chilling story.
What's that?
If you've ever known somebody with a Furby, you have probably heard a story like it. The most common complaint with Furbies is that even when the batteries are removed, they still talk or dance or blink.
All of it, yes.
Yeah. That's that's weird.
Yeah. All of my aunties, she said she never put batteries in some of them, but because they were close to some that had batteries, for some reason they started working. Like, what? That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Transfer of electricity? Like, that'd be cool, but in 1999?
Yeah, that's creepy.
No, it's weird. Those things, I'm telling you.
I don't remember Nana's ever doing anything weird like that, but I don't know if she ever put any batteries in them. And like I said, they're like at like 10 feet in the air up on a shelf.
Yeah. Nobody really pays them any mind anyway, so
Yeah.
maybe they're doing it all the time.
Maybe.
Maybe they're aliens and we're all fucking dicks for keeping them in packages still.
Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, let's get into it then. Let's do the tinfoil hat chat part of this episode. Do you think because of the technology built into it that ghosts could use them to communicate?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If they communicate all fucking willy-nilly randomly on their own, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's why they talk in the middle of the night, or they... Some people even have said that they, like, cleaning out their old childhood bedroom, they come across one and it'll just start talking to them.
Yeah, I believe that that's a very real possibility. I think it's a low frequency. Like, it's easy to take over and talk.
Like, what's it called? Not an EMF reader, but the other thing we have. The one that
Spirit
goes through...
box?
Yeah, spirit box.
Spirit box, yeah.
Like that?
Sort of like that, yeah. Like, it's low frequency enough, like, of an energy source that I believe a ghost could take over it. Any kind of entity could definitely manipulate it.
So I wonder if like you could use them to ghost hunt.
Potentially, but that'll be the fucking weirdest ghost hunt ever.
Wild.
I want to see somebody in the wild do that,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Take your Furby out there to ghost hunt. Take a whole army of Furbies. Just take 6 of them, 3 on each shoulder. Fucking GoPro camera on each one's head.
Let's do it.
Oh, man. Us? No, I don't want a Furby. No.
I want one. I almost bought one.
You're going to need a friend.
Yeah. Okay, then we have the tulpa theory. Have you heard of that?
No.
So the term is taken from Tibetan Buddhism, but basically it's when people put so much thought and energy into something that it gives it the power to become real. A very popular modern day example of this is Slender Man. He started as a creepypasta story online, and it was just made up in somebody's head. And then somehow word spread enough, and enough people started fearing him that he seems to have become real.
Yeah, those kids killed their friend over him.
Yeah. And then people since then have reported seeing him. Like, it was such a huge thing around, I think, 2012. And even now you hear stories of people saying, like, that they saw him, or even sleep demons of him, stuff like that. But it's almost as if fear gives power is kind of what it is.
So again, it could be like enough people believing manifest it to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
They manifest it to be in the timeline.
Look, that's literally my next sentence is it's like manifestation.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Like if you got enough people believing in it, that's enough people to believe it into existence. Like, I know it sounds silly, but like, I do believe in fairies. I do believe in fairies. And like Elf, how they all had to sing about Christmas. Like sometimes there's some truth to that, I believe, in movies and TV.
That's always where I take it to when I hear stuff like this is Santa Claus.
Like, I mean, even if it's simple, like even if electricity, imagine if one guy's like electricity, yeah, easily, it fucking powers stuff. Imagine if that guy didn't have that thought that it would work.
Yeah.
Not enough people, then it never, I'm saying, think of it like that.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so can a collective belief give life to something like that? Do you think...
Fuck yeah, I can.
Is it possible that even if the NSA thing was just a complete misunderstanding, let's just say it was just Y2K fear, there was nothing to it, but do you think them banning it could have given life to something darker. Because obviously, even the inventor of Furby said that it was all of the NSA
Innocuous.
stuff. No, not innocuous.
Oh.
All of the NSA stuff furthered the Furby boom. People were like, "Oh, it's spooky. I have to have it." And so it was like a second wave of people just going nuts for Furby.
Maybe, but I have a follow-up question for it.
Okay.
Is that ban at the NSA still in existence on Furbies?
I don't think it is anymore. I know it's definitely not on airplanes.
So if it's not at the NSA or like the government buildings, maybe it was just, like a hoax, people believing it, like a placebo.
So you think that it would be more likely to be a placebo than they believed in it enough that that's what made Furbies like people's childhood Furbies are like I said now still creepy.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be like a placebo where you believe yours is doing that, you believe you've seen it, you believed it to have happened. I have you seen any? I mean, you did the research. Did you see any video documentation of people catching it?
I didn't look into videos of it, no.
I mean, I don't think you can really fake that because, I mean, I don't know. You could probably fake it, but
So you're saying you don't believe that people like their Furbies come to life after years and years of no batteries and all that?
I don't know. I'm a skeptic. I think I might, but I don't.
Hmm.
I think that not years and years later, I absolutely believe that they are spyware. Fuck yeah. I believe that they still have residual energy when the battery is removed, and they got a little stored energy in there, and they will last for maybe up to a year and do some weird shit for a year with no battery or no electricity in them. And then after that, I don't think they do much. No. I think after that, it's kind of like you just have that superstition that that Furby's going to do something weird. It's going to talk, it's going to blink, it's going to turn its head, and you think it does. I don't know. What about you?
I don't know what I think. But because Furbies had their own personalities and their own names and held conversations, children really formed close bonds and adults with them. Some were truly treated as friends or like pets. So if so many children believed in them like that, could it have caused them to come to life? I kind of think that maybe in some capacity it did. Because there's also the conversation like, are they aliens?
Yeah.
Are they some sort of something else going on? And it was just presented to us as a cute little toy. But I understand like that one sounds really silly. That one's like a big tinfoil hat. But there's so much weird stuff, so many weird stories.
So to say the belief could have brought it all to be true and made it so that they were actually their own entity kind of thing, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's the same kind of like same tinfoil hat where people talk about the Nephilim and they talk about giants.
Mm.
People believed in them, and they existed. Then people didn't anymore, and they don't.
Yeah.
Dragons, people again
Dragons.
are talking about they believe in them for a long time in the Bible, and a lot of religious scripture it mentions flying beasts and dragons, right?
Yeah.
They believed in it, so they just saw it and they wrote about it. Then people quit believing. For modern era, like modern time, people don't believe in dragons. They believe in dinosaurs. But nobody in previous timelines ever fucking thought about a drag or a dinosaur, right? Like it's what you believe in. Yeah, it could manifest it to be true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for that period in time, absolutely, it could have been a real thing. And then people quit believing, like, in Peter Pan and fucking Tinkerbell and stuff, and they just quit being relevant.
Yeah. And now it's just lore.
Yeah, so it goes again, like I've talked about previously on a couple of these, that split theory. You
Yeah.
know, it's only happens when you observe it. It doesn't happen if you don't observe it.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I was trying to figure out how to put into words. But yeah, that theory.
Yeah.
Because people were focused on it, people were thinking about it. It was, like I said, in the media, in every magazine, on every like poster. So people were face to face with it constantly, and then there was that fear. And I don't know. I think maybe it did something then. I think now Furbies are different for sure.
They deactivated whatever source code was programming them to be odd like that.
Yeah,
So maybe they could have been a distraction. What else
maybe.
was going on during the time?
Oh,
Was that when, Monica Lewinsky?
Yeah.
You know,
That's one of my favorite theories. Not Monica
Y2K.
Lewinsky,
You know, trying to get the
but
world prepared for what they thought was going to happen with Y2K, with the world's nukes and exchange of technology
yeah,
between countries. Maybe they were trying to sway the fear. You know,
maybe.
so they built hysteria into it. It became real, and then now it's folklore.
Yeah. That's a fun theory I didn't think of. But like I was just saying, that's one of my favorite theories to talk about is if something crazy is happening right now, what could it be covering up?
A lot of shit.
Yeah, and that was an extremely wild time. Like it was a frenzy looking back into all of that. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Adding to the lore and conspiracies, David Hampton, the original inventor, dropped off the face of the earth. He said in that podcast I mentioned earlier that he became really private because people started randomly showing up at his house after Furby got popular. Because apparently I guess he had a house out in Lake Tahoe and people would just show up. And so they sold the house, moved, became super private, him and his family.
He was a fucking CIA plant.
Right? Like maybe he was. But yeah, did he go into hiding because of crazed fans? Or did he go into hiding because he realized maybe he built something more than just a toy on accident?
Yeah, CIA plant.
Or CIA plant?
I'm going CIA plant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In that podcast, our Furby or did Furby spy on us? I think is the name. She does get an interview with him.
And he said, I can't see why. I mean,
No, he seemed like a very normal guy, but she had
they
to
always do.
fight to meet him. Like it was like he was a ghost, and then all of a sudden he was there on her podcast.
It's kind of how CIA agents work, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I need to stop saying that word so many times.
Yeah, please.
Cut some of these.
Okay.
It's kind of how they
I'll
work,
start
isn't
bleeping
it?
it.
You do.
I will.
You got a bleep button on there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. But since 1998, there have been a few more generations of Furby. Not a whole lot. I thought they came out more than that. But
They were like, fuck that thing.
yeah. There was one released in 2005, so 7 years after the first gen. That's a long time. Then 2012, 2016, and 2023 was the last round.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize they did any of those.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was so weird that they only did little spurts of here's some more, here's another generation, literally releasing generational lines.
Yeah, they're seeing if they can get the interest again so they can turn back on those chips to listen again. They're like, hey, people are a little, weary of all these other things. Let's try our old school tactics.
Something, yeah. But I also have to ask the question, why go through all the trouble of having this creepy ass toy that people are already aware of, it's already on people's radar? Why use that to spy on people? You could just put it in their shoes.
It's still sold. Well, you can't guarantee which kind of shoe. That's
fair.
how many shoes in the household. But on average, you could figure you get one of these Furbys in each household in America. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so La Boo Boo.
Yeah.
But now it's adults like them and grown-ass folk. So it's going to be
Furby.
further than just children. It's going to be grown-ass folk that got these toys doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, we all got cell phones, so I mean, can't hate. It's going to be the same shit.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
Telephones, computers, tablets, everything.
Mm-hmm. We kind of touched on it earlier. Do you think
We got a Shirley.
We do have a Shirley. Do you think these new Furbies bring the same experiences as the first generation?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard stories like I did about the early ones.
I think they're probably programmed and fixed so they don't go off script as much.
So they're less noticeable?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're a little bit more conscious of what they're doing. Obviously, it's been years for them to program it. So, I mean, they can really fix that coding. Absolutely.
That's fair. But one thing I couldn't stop thinking about is if it was just a mass hallucination thing back then, you would think it would carry on and we would still hear stories.
People
today.
get bored with it.
Yeah?
People get bored with it. They get bored with telling the same stories, especially when everybody's heard it. It takes some time.
Maybe.
For the lore to become fun again. Imagine if you live in a small town and you've already told all your siblings and the youngest class in the school, like your hometown, the scary ghost story that everyone's told for generations. When's the next time you're going to tell that? You're not going to talk about it all the time if you only communicate with the same people, but you're going to get a random outsider that shows up and you might do it then again. So, you try again years later, but the lore is gone.
Maybe, but what I'm saying is with this new generation of Furbies, if it was just some sort of mass hallucination, I don't know why I can't say that word. Like everybody still talks about the stories, like it's still
Yeah.
very known. But you would think like this new generation of children hearing the stories, like being aware of Furby stuff, you see it everywhere online too. If you look up Furby, they would carry on that hallucination. They would be like, "Oh, my Furby's so freaky," but you don't hear that anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they've sold enough of the newer generation Furbies, and even the newer generation Furbies that they have sold, they've fixed a lot of those issues
That's okay.
where
Yeah.
it's not noticeably doing those things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the newer ones, they don't notice because it's not so prevalent. Like they're sneakier about responding and they don't have glitches like they did. The AI is a lot more advanced. Technology's become more advanced every year, and that's why they're like, our technology's here. Like, let me find out Furby and Labubu are made by the same company.
Yeah,
The
we should look
same
into
people,
that.
dude. I'm saying.
That
Yeah,
same
I'm
inventor
gonna Google it
guy.
right now, dude. I ain't even got sheesh.
Do it.
Right, they're owned by Pop Mart. So no, Labubus are not made by Furby. Furby is owned by Hasbro,
Mm.
and Labubu is still owned overseas. So I still think there's something weird.
Maybe, yeah. So, was there something more to Furbies? Were they meant to collect information?
Yes.
Were they just furry best friends?
Uh.
Did those friendships cause them to come alive?
Maybe.
Maybe Furby was never just a toy.
Mm.
Perhaps, instead, it's the first cryptid that can be bought in box stores.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think. I don't know what Furbies are.
Yes, you do.
I mean, like, I don't know what I think they are. If they're cryptids or AI or what. I feel like I'm just talking in circles because this is one conversation that I could be so easily swayed in any direction, really.
They are something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know. I don't trust them. But like 7 out of 10 on a toy scale. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah, they're cute, fun, interactive. They remind me of. Do you remember those little dogs?
No.
They were like robot dogs, and they'd bark and flap their ears and do backflips and stuff, like fit in the palm of your hand.
I think so.
I don't remember where I was going with that, but they remind me of that. Just a fun little pet that you can play with and hang out with, but like you don't have to feed it. And that was another cool thing that David Hampton did is he saw the Tamagotchi and he was like, I don't want to give my children that trauma. Let me make an animal that can't die. And that's why Furbies don't die.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
They're built like Nokia.
Yeah, they are.
Sheesh.
And that's why, yeah, like I said, you can still see ones from 1998, that first release, for sale now, and they still work.
Some of them are still flying around.
Yeah, there goes one now. I'm just kidding.
You can see them flying, monitoring you.
But I do think they're cute. Like I said, especially the furry
I
ones.
don't.
The plastic ones aren't that cute to me.
They're
I
all
would-
fucking weird.
I would love to be able to get my hands on one and take it apart.
We can. I got hammers.
Yeah, see what's inside there.
But I'm not paying $35 to smash one with. I might. Who knows?
Yeah, let us know what you guys think, what you believe Furbies are, what you believe they do. And if there's anything else, any other conspiracies that we didn't touch on, let us know.
Yeah, tell us what you know. Or what your mom knows, your auntie knows, your cousin knows. What are they?
And if you have any weird Furby experiences, I would love firsthand accounts that I can share. Because I did do on social media, I threw out like a broad net and was like, if anybody has had any weird experiences, like I would love to hear it. And I got a lot of messages from people saying like, oh, Furbies are scary or like, fuck Furbies. But nobody wanted to share their account. So I don't know if they just didn't remember, if they were like, oh, they don't care. Or if they were like too traumatized to talk about it.
They saw the Furbies and they were like, no, just fuck those things, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them. They just Fuck 'em.
something. But it's crazy that this toy did like traumatize a generation.
Oh yeah.
It's so fun. But that's what I keep going back to is the NSA thing. Like I don't see a huge government agency like the NSA banning something just out of a misunderstanding.
What was the other agency that banned it?
The FAA.
Yeah. So I mean, big ones that don't like being spied on. So
Yeah.
don't.
Exactly.
It's,
Like
yeah, something shady with those.
something
sons of
shady
guns.
and something happened between Furby's release and January of the next year that I hope someday somebody releases.
They never released the other files. They can release these.
Yeah.
Unredacted.
Unredacted. Release the files.
Release the files.
Release the Furbies.
Not the Furbies. Keep the Furbies.
But yeah, I'm just going to keep talking in circles. I don't know what to think. I already said that. Let us know what you think. If you or somebody you know has had a brush with the paranormal and you would like to have that story read on the podcast,
Or a Furby.
or please email your story to anxiousatbedtimepodcast@gmail.com.
Like, follow, subscribe, and share all of our socials. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. You know what? Google.
Yeah, Google us.
Podbean.
Yeah.
Find us where you find all your podcasts.
Which hopefully, if you're listening to us right now, you already know where to do that.
Yeah, but tell all your friends, family, and everybody, man. Make everybody. Don't make them. Yeah, don't make them. The world can be a scary place with Furbies. Just with Furbies, dude. What the fuck are those things? They work without batteries. They talk random languages. They fucking go flying around. What are they doing? But we're probably fine.
Some people reported that their Furby's eyes turned red.
Hopefully they're fine.
Hopefully they're fine. Sleep tight.